Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode with Erik Karstensen. Erik is in Norway, and he's joining us to talk politics today. Erik, thank you for joining us.
Hello, thank you so much to be back again. All the big leaders are taking position in the new world who's coming. And they have to, because they want resources too. To build a new world, as what Klaus Schwab is saying, the reset is coming. And they want to be the one who make the reset.
Okay, well, they talk about the reset. Do they mean through reset, build back better, and that means a new digital currency?
Yeah, they are all for one religion, one currency, one military, one health organization.
Mhm.
And this is a very problem with the health organization because they are now managed with almost 190 countries. Every country has signed the agreement as to allow UN to decide what's going to happen to your area in your country.
Okay, well, let's listen to this following clip about the target of reaching a digital currency in Europe by the end of this year, 2025. Let's have a listen.
On your second point, I tend to share your views. Nature doesn't like vacuum. And we started working on the digital euro way back. Actually, when I started my term 5.5 years ago. And I'm not claiming, parentality on the digital euro because my colleague Benoît Cœuré had already committed a speech on this matter before I arrived. But I certainly carried on with that project, and subsequently Fabio Panetta on the board and then Piero Cipollone, who has replaced Fabio, have taken the lead together with a very, very good team, which is focused on accelerating the pace and hopefully campaigning enough with all the stakeholders, meaning European Parliament, meaning European Council, meaning European Commission, so that we can eventually, not put to bed, but put to reality this digital euro. The deadline for us is going to be October of 25, and we are getting ready for that deadline, but we will not be able to move unless the other parties, the stakeholders, as I call them, Commission, Council, and Parliament, actually complete the legislative process, without which we will not be able to move. And I think it is critically important. And it seems to the agnostic or the skeptics, it seems to be more relevant and more of an imperative now than ever before, both on the wholesale and on the retail level, both.
The system's ready to go, and we as an establishment, the governments, need to push that through their parliaments to agree the system.
This is what I'm saying. The stakeholders are the countries. Because if they're going to have one currency, credit score, everything, they need the cooperation with all the corporations around, all the corporations who are in the system. They're pushing it to have it. And all the countries are doing that to their system, demanding we're going to do it because of the economy on this world now is collapsing. So they need. But they're going to say, we're not going to lose the money, we're going to save your money, but you have to be in the system.
It's so hard to visualize that ever happening because the greed in the current system is so ingrained. Like if you look at the FTSE 100, if you look at all the currencies that's being traded, all the companies that's being traded, how will that influence the impact of a digital currency? If everything's collapsing.
The elites have already put up a new system up and running for a long time ago. They're going to just separate that system over to the new currency system. So it's nothing new to them.
Yeah.
They have a currency system, so they have rings on their hands, and they can pay millions by just touching the ring to different accounts. So they have the system up and running for a long time.
Tell me, if we're talking about implementation of this new world order, which European countries are leading this at the moment?
The England is where the old cities in London have the management to control this new thing. So to say it, they are decided.
It almost feels like England is the testing ground. The United Kingdom is the testing ground. The influx of what we're getting with regards to those people who believe in Allah and their religion, which is known as Muslim, if they come in the numbers that they are at the moment, and are they not saying that the new world religion will be the Muslim religion?
They are mixing the Muslim and the Christianity and the Catholic and the Hindu and the Sikh all to one.
I'm just trying to think what this new religion will be, because England's the testing ground. It's almost that the Muslim religion is surpassing Christianity here at the moment. We're a Christian country, but it's like the king is and the government officials, they are promoting the Muslim religion. We are seeing advertisements of the Muslim religion on billboards and in our trains and everywhere you look. But as soon as someone's preaching on the streets about Christianity, they are arrested, they are shut down for disturbing the peace. But as soon as a Muslim person speaks their religion on the street, that it's deemed okay, and you can't say anything because then that's a hate crime. You see how the English people are being prosecuted.
They're using the same thing with the transgender, with all the gays, everything, the pride. We could not attack it because we was arrested, and using the same thing here. Christianity, we can't preach anymore. We can't pray for abortion clinic. We can't do nothing anymore because they attack us. But this is the new regulation to take the white down, because they don't like the white.
Why is that? Why is it that the white person is so hated?
Because we are questioning the system now big time. The Muslims, they are accepting the system, but we are questioning it. This is not right.
Quitting the system.
Now we're questioning the system because we see now it's not working anymore. They're taking the tax from us. They're taking everything, the fuel prices, everything go up now, and we are furious. And they know that, and we are dangerous for them. And they attacking us because they are taking us away our power. And the police are doing it. We see that in Europe, in England. It's crazy. The white people cannot stand up anymore. They get attacked by the police and arrested for hate crimes. If you say something on the internet now, you get hate crime.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And we see it in England 3-4 times now. People get big fines and get in jail.
Are you seeing the immigration influx where you are and on the borders of where you are?
No. Norway are paying for it not to come, because we have so much paying in oil money. So we are one of the heads of the snake, Norway, because we have this oil fund, and we're using so much money of it to support what everything's happened.
And what about the green agenda? You're selling green energy as well to other countries at this time?
We are one of the only countries in Europe who has green energy. And we have 4 agreements with the called ACER with Europe. So they're taking all our power, transfer it down to Europe, and sell it back 4 times, 6 times. And we only giving power to Europe, only 7% of the power the Europe needs. Because they need extremely how much power? Terawatts. And we can't give them 1 terawatt again. And this is the problem. They are what to say now? They are really taxing the people in Norway.
Same here in England.
It's extreme now. They're taxing in everything now. And more people getting bankrupt.
Yeah. What I am finding interesting, though, is the fact that we are closing big industries. For example, the steel industry here in the UK, based in Wales. We've closed that down now. Okay. And we are importing all of our steel from abroad and mainly China. Okay. China is building fuel stations and coal stations. They have no interest in going green. But the thing for me is, we don't have a good relationship at the moment with the United States because they are in opposition with what's
NATO.
happening in Ukraine and NATO, yes.
NATO, yeah.
But they seem to have a good relationship with Russia, and Russia has a good relationship with China. But surely that conflict between us and the United States will mean there's conflict between us and China. So surely we're putting ourselves in a very delicate position here to continue trade with China.
In the level we are now is a problem. In a high level, everyone's agree. So China and Russia are the main, and India and Brazil in BRICS are heading forward big time because they have gold as their base for the new currency. The NATO countries doesn't have gold anymore. We have spent it up. And we don't have anything to value the new currency. So they are now doing this digital currency because you can just take from the air and just put it in. And then you control, because when you talk about they're taking all the factories away, we can see that in France. They did it for 10 years ago. They closed every factories down and sent it to China. Norway did the same with some old factories. We sent all the machinery to China. So this is pre-planned. They need to do it because we can't make anything self, and we have to buy it from other countries. And then that makes us not independent anymore. And they can control us by that. That is crazy. And we are accepting it. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the thing. I would have thought that we would have wanted to be independent, especially with what we've seen with Brexit. We wanted to leave the European Union. But it seems like even with that, we're not leaving, are we?
No, we're not leaving. We're not leaving at all. We are so connected, everything now. They can, if they break down one bank in Germany, the main bank in Germany, all the banks the rest going down. Our biggest bank in Norway is owned by the Germany bank, Deutsche Bank. So everything is connected. So people say, why is the rent going up? Why don't we have our own currency? Why don't we can decide our own rent? Not because we are lending money from the central banks in the world. And which that go bankrupt, all the rent goes up in every countries. So we can't say anything. We're not in control.
And what do you think about the billions that are being sent to Ukraine at the moment?
I think they are building up the new currency. with the billions. But still, some money gets to Zelensky and his gang.
Mm.
And all the rockets went to Gaza to shoot on Israel. For everything is the same people doing it.
Because from the UK perspective, we have a society that's struggling with illegal immigrants that are coming over our borders. We're putting them in 4 or 5-star hotels.
Yeah.
We have our own people sleeping on the street, struggling to survive. Yet we can't support them, but we can support illegal immigrants. And on top of that, we are sending billions to Ukraine.
I'm gonna say one thing about these immigrants, so you can think about a little bit. When the pandemic was in Europe, everyone get vaccinated. But the immigrants, they're not vaccinated. They don't have this aluminium in their body as what we have. If they turn on the system, we get affected. They don't.
You mean the 5G system?
Yeah. When they really start to turn it on, all the metal in your body is connected to the system. But they don't have it for this. They then just new arrival.
It's funny because people still think these 5G towers are there for your mobile phone. It is not there for your mobile phone. It is there to affect your nervous system and to allow you to feel agitated or feel angry or control your emotions. And
they are frequency towers.
Yes. Yeah.
And they are more than frequency towers. They also can, if you connect to the big ones, I talk about the big ones, if you get 3 of them triangle, and you can shoot a beam like a hydrogen bomb.
So basically, it's like a hidden technology power weapon.
They can say they've been nuked by Russia, but there was a mobile tower who made the explosion.
Yeah.
That's crazy because we have no control anymore about the information. We don't anything because the mobile towers. Why was this a top priority in all European NATO countries to get the mobile towers up?
Mm-hmm.
First priority.
During COVID, that was priority 1.
Priority 1. Because they need them.
Okay.
To control us. And now we see from different demonstration in Europe, they're using frequency weapons. You see 1,000 of people in the street, and suddenly they're spreading. Boom! Because they're using frequency weapon. So we are already there now.
I don't think people realize that this is being used.
Now only the wake ones are understanding this, but the rest of people have got a clue what it is.
Yeah.
Because they're not informed.
Okay. Well, let's watch another video and see.
So there's a US Air Force report. It's called Owning the Weather. And in this report, they say from now onwards, engineering the climate will be a weapon of war. Farmers are in deep debt, and indebted farmers are being driven to suicide. So I went to the roots. I wrote a book called The Violence of the Green Revolution. Where did the pesticides come from? From Hitler's concentration camps. The companies that made the gases to instantaneously kill human beings. It included Bayer, it includes BASF, all the current people we recognize as the pharmaceutical. For me, it's about seeking truth. So every step of propaganda just stared me in the face. The beauty of these seed banks is we saved everything that was there. So many of the nutrients we need, our body cannot produce. Only the soil produces. The real name for industrial agriculture should be an agriculture of war. Yeah. Mr. Gates is the biggest farmland owner of America now.
He is now, yes.
Why? Why? Because of our cases, there is no GMO food crop approved in India yet. They need very, very high cost for the seed itself. Monsanto increased the price of cotton seed from 5 rupees a kilogram to 4,000 rupees a kilogram, which is an 80,000% increase.
Wow.
I just call it the toxic mind of the poison cartel.
Dr. Vandana Shiva, the Wellness Way podcast, out now.
I'm so scared about this. People don't see it. We have a war against farmer for a long time.
Mhm.
We have war against water, and we have a war against food. And we're seeing now the farmers, they are losing against the system. And I told you the last time it was on, we have to protect the farmers. We have to support them.
It's really hard to support the farmer when the government is saying,
You know?
I will pay you the same amount of money you earn from crops and not grow any crops this year. Destroy your crops and I will still pay you. Like, that's a farmer's guy's dream. Well, I don't have to do anything and you're going to pay me.
This is a major problem because the consciousness of the farmer, they know if they don't produce, the population will starve. Because whole Europe has problems now. And where are the England gonna import from when they have problems?
Almost all of our supplies, our food supply is imported. Almost all of it.
And the same thing in Norway. We have the same thing in Norway. Norway is a winter country. We only have 6 months which we can grow greens.
Mm.
And we don't produce for the whole country. We only produce for that moment. And all the winter, we have to import. It's the same thing. That's why the elites are building these huge bunkers and they putting foods in there for 10, 20 years. Because they know what's happening. Because they are planning it. Yeah. We on the surface, we are fucked sometimes. Because we don't get food. What happened? Anarchy. And they want anarchy. So they can go in with a new system. This is, I can see any solution. This will not happen. Because every spiritual people saying, we have to trust God. God will help us, everything. I don't see God coming in. Because why hasn't he come in the last 12,000 years? In all the wars? No?
Well, God, but the thing is, it's not God creating the war, it's us creating the war. We're calling God in to help us. But
they're saying they are thinking about we're gonna have 1,000 years with peace. But I'm saying, what kind of peace is this 1,000 years? Mm. Because Hitler said the same, 1,000 years with peace, and that was ended now in 2012.
Yes, that's correct. And I feel like that was the start of the Great Awakening of people actually starting to question what's going on, and it's just been a knock-on effect. People are actually seeing what's happening. They're awake.
But they are all waking up in the end of the cycle.
Mm. That's right.
And we have many cycles. And people ending up and they reset. Mm. And they reset. And they reset.
So tell me the feeling of, anticipation, expecting another world war. Where do you see us going? Because they're talking about a new pandemic. They're talking about this virus X. What are we expecting for the next few years?
I don't think it's a new third war is coming. It's no point to having that. We have the famine. Famine is the new world war. People gonna die in high numbers. And they pre-planned it already.
Okay, so we're seeing a lot of people already passing away due to vaccine injuries and the vaccine that they've taken. You're going to see a lot of more poverty because of the tax increases and people struggling to survive.
Mm.
We're seeing people not being able to live day to day.
Mm. They're trying to live. Also, I say to people, live the time you have now, have a good time. Because the time we are heading into, it's not a good time.
But isn't this then the time to actually save and be more mindful on how we're spending and how we're using our resources?
we are now in a time we have to understand how everything's work, because when you die, you need to understand what's happening to you when you die, and you have to choose the right thing. Because if you are in the doctrine with the religion, everything, you might going back on the cycle again for another 25,000 years.
That is another rabbit hole for those people who are spiritual and
Yeah.
want to know about cycles of birth and death and rebirth.
But
Well, the people that are waking up now, they are not as deeply spiritual as you are. We are into politics, trying to understand what the next steps are for humanity with regards to what do we do with our money? What do we do with our livelihood? What is it with all these planes crashing, Jan Erik? You know, all these
this is
fields
the
burning.
Illuminati cards. All in the Illuminati cards are saying what they will do in this game.
Okay, so we are destroying it. We are seeing fires break out everywhere. Why are we seeing all these fires breaking out? And we know that it's not accidental.
No, it's not accidental.
If anyone thinks it's accidental, then
this is the new program for the major cities who's coming. The countries is going down. So like England is not gonna have England anymore in about 20, 30 years. It's the cities who are the England. And we have 4 cities in England who are going to take control of England. They have meeting every year now. I'm following them for 10 years now. They are meeting with all the cities who are going to take control of the countries. So the countries they're going to extend, they're not going to be anymore. We're going to not have a flag anymore. We're going to be the new world order. And people don't believe it. I understand that, but they have meetings every year.
Yeah, I still think there's going to be civil unrest until that.
There has to be. We are rebels. We are rebels. We do not want to go this timeline, but they are pushing it. So this is the problem. This is the problem. Oh, I had problems with the PC here. I'm the new first time I have this PC.
That's okay. You've done amazingly. Thank you so much for joining me today. So enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you so much for sharing your insights and your time. Continue sharing those videos, and maybe we can, go through the next slot another time.
Yeah, we can do that.
And share our insight with the people watching. Both those